What's going on, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, we are back.
Woo!
Yes, it's Drinks and Conversation.
The podcast.
Yes, and I am Intro Picks, and I'm always in the building.
And I'm Oxytocin, and it's always going down.
Yeah, we are back, y'all.
Yes, we are.
What's going on, Oxytocin?
Everything is lovely. What's going on with you?
You know, it's Friday.
It is.
A little rainy Friday.
Is your rent paid?
So far, yes, it is. So far, and another month is coming.
Man,
Yeah.
like clockwork.
Yeah, like clockwork.
Man,
Well, we got an exciting episode today, Oxytoes.
we really do.
We
As
got-
always.
We got my man Darius in the building. What's up, brother?
Hey, what up, what up, what up?
Yeah. What's up, man? How you?
I'm blessed.
Blessed.
And how
Very
you
blessed
been?
individual.
I be scared when people say that.
Why?
Because you know there's people who be like, oh, Jesus sometimes and sanctified, be like the meanest people.
I know, right? They don't really want to tell you how they really feel.
Exactly. I be like, houseway. Oh, I'm blessed. That damn. I'm like, okay, multiple personalities, but we'll see. We'll see.
Or maybe you like, get away from me, demon.
I know.
I'm blessed.
Be
I'm
pleading
blessed.
the blood of Jesus on them because they
It's all
so
good.
fake.
I'm blessed.
Okay,
Blessed,
good.
blessed,
Good.
blessed,
Blessed.
blessed. All right, that's
You
what
know we gotta
did.
say it twice. You
That-
cold
yeah.
or you cold.
Yeah, that's when you know you was
There
for
you
It's
real.
hot
For
or
real.
you hot. You
For
know?
real, for real.
Okay.
So Darius, man, tell the people, tell the people a little bit about you, man. I mean, I could go on and on, but tell the people a little bit about you, what you do, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, for those who don't know me, even though everybody don't know me, because I'm nobody. But
Nah, you are somebody.
I'm somebody
You
to
are
somebody.
somebody.
To somebody. But no, I'm a entrepreneur. You know,
Okay.
I'm a working man. I'm a big dreamer. And, a couple things that I do right now, I'm a mortgage loan officer, so anybody who need that help, that knowledge, because I think it's important that black people buy houses. That's something that I really like to push. But outside of that, I'm a realtor, so if you need help in that area, I got you. And for myself, I do real estate investing, flipping, wholesaling, a couple things like that. So, yeah, just business. Everything's business these days.
You got
Everything.
that business going
You
on.
don't
over
have
there.
business, you don't have
know?
anything.
Entrepreneur, but one time for the entrepreneurs, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it
Beautiful
definitely
thing.
is. I mean, look at us now. We're doing our,
You know, now
doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? So how you got into the whole real estate game? Because it seemed like you putting your whole foot, your whole neck, everything into it.
It's a funny story, but I could try and say that I'm this smart dude that, said, I want to do real estate and I want to make, but that's not how it worked out for me. Honestly, we started at the same place when I was at Navy Federal.
Yeah.
And, I was just a young guy, 18 years old, wanted to get a job to make a little money to be able to buy some Nike boots. And to be able to drive my own little car.
You took it back to the Nike
for real. That boy DMV. Nike boots.
I said, now I got 18,000 Nike boots.
Hey, look, I wanted some Nike boots and an Impala. Okay, that's all I
Oh
wanted.
man. Where you from? What part of where you from?
All over, but I
Okay.
spent majority of my years growing up, I was staying up in Marlboro.
Okay.
But I was born in Kentland, then lived in Largo.
Kentland.
I knew the Nike boots was coming from somewhere. He tried to get it. We from all over.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look,
But
we
you move
PG,
around a
but
bit. We
Kentland,
the metro
Kentland.
area, so you move around a bit, you know?
Yeah, we moved
A
around.
PG
but
count.
yeah,
You know what I'm
PG.
saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, I was a credit card collector.
Okay.
Didn't know much about anything. And my brother-in-law, he hit me up one day and he said, you smart, even though I ain't the smartest, sharpest tool in the shed, but he said, you smart. I want you to read this book. And he handed me a book. He said, I want you to interpret it for me because I don't feel like reading.
Okay. Dang. Okay.
Right, which is ridiculous.
Dang.
But, I'm
I
happy
got
he
a few
did.
books for you, brother. I need you to
Read it. And then get
And
back
then give
to
it
me. Give me your
paraphrase.
feedback. I want the footnotes. I want the footnotes, okay?
Yeah, he wanted a whole book report, right?
Right.
But no, the book was called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and honestly, it changed my life. It changed my mindset. It changed everything. And the book didn't necessarily push me towards real estate, but it did kind of open up my mind and my mentality, and just kind of let me know that personally, I was on the path to nowhere. Just kind of a regular life that wouldn't really get me where I want to be. And so, I read that book and realized the power of real estate. And the point is, the book teaches you the difference between an asset and a liability. And I don't want to turn this into a teaching session, but that's part of what I want to do in my life. Okay. I want to motivate people to do, business. I want to motivate entrepreneurs. I want to push people to do the things that they really want to do, especially in America. But, it teaches you that you want to increase your assets and decrease your liabilities. An asset is something that makes money, and a liability is something that costs money. So that Impala that I wanted, that costs money. That's a liability. Yeah. Okay. Those Nike boots, that was a liability.
But can it be a liability and an asset? Because you wanted those Nike boots, but it made you look cool. So you know what I'm saying.
That's the asset.
And you was
made
fly.
You look cool.
Yeah,
Nah, it's not.
The only asset. Hey, look,
it's adding. Go ahead.
It gives you. It's maybe the asset.
Yeah.
Maybe they like
some ass and sex. Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it was something. That's where it was. That's where it was. Right on the tip of my tongue.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You're a funny dude, bro. But yeah, and so I realized all my money's going towards liabilities. Every ounce of money that I get from my paycheck is going towards something that's just going to cost me. And so I decided at that point, what can I do that I like to increase an asset? And I jumped on real estate. I bought my first property, I think at like 22 or 23. I was living with my parents. And it was funny because I had this conversation with my dad. And my dad said, you shouldn't do that, because what if you try to get a rental and a tenant don't pay the rent? And that was part of the book. It says, you don't have a lot of people, even people that care about you, that will try to persuade you to not take risks. And then if you're going to make money, you're going to have to take a chance.
And I think I remember having a conversation with you about that, because you actually brought in a good amount of income from that purchase, yes, from that, So, I mean, let's talk about, being like a landlord. I mean, even with that, like you said, even though you was getting advice or people try to tell you about, I mean, what did you find anything difficult about doing that in that process, like being a landlord and finding a renter and getting someone in there to get that cash flow started?
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know anything. I thugged it out. And when I say thugged it out, I mean, look, I got the property, I went in there myself and painted. I did anything I could do, and I threw that bad boy on Craigslist, because that's what we know.
Right.
Again, I thugged it out. Right. I didn't know anything else. And lo and behold, a week later, a tenant was in there, and from there was curtains. $600 cash flow every month. The mortgage was like $8, rented out for $14. And, I still own that property today. It's been rented ever since. And, the value increased on that property a couple years after owning it. I was able to refinance and pull out, I think it was like 50, 60 grand, and I'm an open book, so I'll tell numbers. But, for me to actually make a decision to buy something and constantly each month make $600 and then a couple years later be able to pull out 50, 60, that's an asset.
Yeah,
that's putting a little bit of money that I put into it to get the house.
Right.
Which was maybe a couple grand, they got 100% financing. Okay. A lot of people think in order for you to get a house, you got to have 20%. That's not true. And so I took advantage of what I knew as a mortgage processor, okay? Because at this time, I went from being a collector to a mortgage processor. And I said, you know what? I know what it takes to get a loan. I give them out every day, or at least I help loan officers do it. And so...
Well, tell the people what it is to get a loan, because there's people out there that's like, yo, tell me what to do to get a loan.
All right.
Is it simple? Is it hard? Is it complex? What?
It's not that complex, but you gotta put yourself in position. So I'll say it's a few things you need to pay attention to. One, credit. Okay, you can't have that 540 credit because you done mess around and had a couple collections. No, you got to get that cleared up, get that squared away, get yourself to at least a 620. Okay, there are lenders that will do it at the 580, but
that rate about to be
they're stupid. All of us in finance, so we know that.
Right.
Yeah.
put yourself in the best position. So yeah, get your credit decent. Okay, the better your credit, the better your rate, the better your rate, the better your payment. And the second thing is you want to save some money. All right. Now, again, they have loans that will give you 100% of what the property is selling for. Meaning, if it's on the market for 200, the bank will give you 200. So what are you left with? Closing. Then you got, credit right. Save up a little money that you may not need. Okay. Because if you get that 100% and you get that 3% from the seller, which is not uncommon in this market, you can possibly get a house with a couple $100. As a realtor, I've helped so many people do that. Now, ideally, if you are in a position to put money down, you want to do that.
But when you say a couple $100, and I get it. Are we talking about like moving into like Baltimore, or are we talking about moving into Bowie with this? You know what I'm saying? Because houses, it's a difference.
Well, when I got my house, that was back in 2011, 12. We in a totally different time, brother. Totally different market. And the prices are, in a sense, out of control. And everything is much more expensive. But as far as what we discussed, as far as a couple $100 or maybe a couple grand, you can still do that today. The issue today, though, is that it costs so much to get a house. The house that I purchased back then was $120,000. Today, that same property is worth $240,000. In PG County, and that's in Stafford, Virginia, where it's a little cheaper. In PG County, good luck finding anything under $200,000.
Good luck finding anything
nowadays.
on one income. But I know you talked about you wanted to help, people understand that they should go and get homes. What do you think is the reason for their apprehension, or why a lot of African Americans or black people are not getting homes?
Well, I think that a lot of it is due to us not knowing, and if you think about it, these other cultures, I work with a lot of different ethnic groups when it comes to being a loan officer, and they know the power of real estate. The white man knows the power of real estate, and that is why they're able to send their kids to school without the kid having to take out student loans. That's why they're able to pass on hundreds of thousands of dollars when they pass on. Because the thing about it, let's say me, if I decide I just want to rent for the rest of my life, and when I pass away, I may have saved up a little bit of money, a couple $1,000, that gets passed down to my family, if that. But if I own a couple properties, right? Let's just use me for an example. This property that I currently own, it's like I said, it's a townhome worth $240,000. I've never had to make a mortgage payment on it. Someone else does. Eventually, that mortgage will be paid off. Once it's paid off, I then own an asset that's $250,000. Now, I also have a condo personally that I live in, okay, and I'm about to buy another townhouse. Keep your properties, because the more properties you keep, the more you can rent. The more you can rent, the more that gets paid off by somebody else. All you're paying is the one that you're living in. And let's just say, 40, 50 years later, you may very well own 3 to 4 properties free and clear. The value is going to increase. By that time, you're looking at a couple $1 million. That's how you pass on wealth to the younger generations. That's how you take care of your kids. That's how they are able to avoid student loans. And that's why it's important. We just don't know that. We so quick to rent, or we just feel like we're never in a position to buy. But that's not the case, And
it could be for some people, like people that I know, it's fear.
Right.
You feel like that's a commitment. I notice a lot of young people in general have commitment issues, whether it's getting married to somebody you've been with for an 11-year relationship, whether it's getting into this 30-year mortgage. A lot of people, commitment. It could be a 60-month condo. A lot of people have commitment issues, and maybe I don't know if I'm gonna have this job, or I don't have enough savings. It's just so much fear, because that's a big decision.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's like, it's kind of easy to get into a house, but it ain't that easy to get out, or it costs a little bit more to get out, at least from your profits, at least, and like she said, sometimes it is fear. A lot of people just feel like, it's so, it's so easy to just go down and rent.
It actually
That's good.
is. I'm not. It is easy to rent, but also you get what you pay for. You get what you invest in. So if you're renting, yes, you can call maintenance to come fix whatever issue you have. Yes, you don't have to worry about it in that aspect. But the money that you're losing, I mean, you got people paying $1,900, $1,800, $1,700, which is more than people's mortgages.
Right.
So I know some people paying $1,200 or $1,300, $1,100, which I feel is reasonable for a mortgage. Like, for example, I had this friend. He was making really, really good money, single black guy, but he was renting an apartment for like over $2,000, and it was a really small space. I mean, it was beautiful, but it was just a tiny space, and I'm just like, he's throwing away his money. And that's just like, what options does he have? He wasn't trying to buy, but he's wasting a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, in some situations, renting is okay, but if you compare apples to apples, what's the difference? Okay, the principle is we all have to pay to live.
We all have to pay to live.
Right,
I love to live rent free.
Right.
Back in the mama house, you know what I'm saying? I love that, but
Yeah, but you can't be doing what you want to do in your mama house.
No, you can't be doing
nah.
what you
Right.
no,
We
you
30 plus now. We 30 plus.
Yeah.
And so, you're going to pay to live. So what
Right.
would you rather do? Would you rather pay that $1,500 for something that you own, where after 5 years you can sell and maybe profit 50, 60, 70, 80,000? Or would you rather pay that same $1,500 and when you're ready to move on 5 years later, you don't make anything?
Yeah. And then that's true. But a lot of people, they also feel like, with renting, they don't have to take care of, the house if something breaks. If, I guess it's just a level of comfort, though. But it's not really stable. It's not, because any given Sunday, you could be kicked out.
That's true.
And it could be your thought process. I think sometimes people are just thinking in the moment, not necessarily so far out in the future.
Right.
And that's another thing. When you want to be thinking about your future, especially if you have children, like, what are you going to do? How are you going to do X, Y, and Z? Think about your life 5 years out. I think if people thought about it like that, they could make better decisions when it comes to, renting versus buying.
And the rate that y'all having babies these days is like, it's not enough land, so you got to get you a little piece of land.
Or you could just play the lottery and win big.
Or you can play the lottery and
buy the house out.
Buy
the house out. Get the whole house.
Okay? Darius,
what mortgage?
Did you play the lotto? Did
what
you play?
Mortgage?
Did you gamble a little bit?
I like to play a little craps at the casino, but as far as lottery go, I mean, I'll admit when it hit that 1.6, I played. I think I got 2 or 3 tickets just that one time. They say that your chances of winning is you getting bit by a shark in the middle of the Grand Canyon. Oh man!
I said, damn, in the Grand Canyon though.
But I think the coolest part to me is that one person won. When it's like 4 or 3
we don't
people.
know.
No, it was one.
one person
so
got
far, one guy has the winning ticket. They know that the winning ticket was sold in South Carolina.
And it's probably
I was trying to see if I
homeless.
had some family there and they bought a ticket. No, but yeah. So
Anybody
one
from South
person-
Carolina? Go once.
Please stand up. Please stand
Or
up.
twice.
Yeah, but that's dope. Like, that's changed your life kind of money. I hope they do right with it, because I know you all have heard about the curse of the lottery. There was a huge documentary on that about how people win the lottery, then they're right back to square one. So
Do you believe that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But that can't happen with 1.6 billion.
You think too much money at too fast is a recipe for destruction, basically?
Ask Mike Tyson. Ask, all these people that made all this money so quick, and next thing you know, they broke.
Yep.
Of course.
But
Gotta
I'd
have
rather
your
take
head
quick
on
money
right,
than
bruh.
no money.
Yeah.
Quick money is no money.
Nah, there's a couple of
When you broke,
experiences you can get.
When you start getting all them depreciating assets and all those liabilities, you get the car, you get the house that you end up getting thrown out and it's going to be resold. You end up getting a car that you end up losing. It's like, what do they really end up keeping? Maybe the gold. If you buy real gold, you can always, gold is always currency. So you can always sell that, make money off that. But that's why that cash for gold stuff, don't do it. Hold on to your gold, okay? I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on to your gold.
Hold on to your gold, okay? You can go anywhere in the world. Gold is currency, okay?
That is true. Gold
It
is
is.
currency. They always say keep
Let
your
me
good
tell you, yup.
keep your good 5 gold nuggets on you. man.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't got none of it. Yeah. Are you into stocks or what? You know?
I've tampered.
Okay.
I've done a little bit with stocks, but I've learned that that's not really my niche. I'm all for making money, man. Always been about making money, and the thing about stocks, you can make money quick, you can lose money quick.
True.
For me, I like something tangible. I like something I could touch, I could see. Something that's a little bit more versatile, and that's why I choose real estate. I love to invest in real estate. There's good money in that.
Okay.
It's a little risky, of course, but if you know what you're doing, you could kill the game.
You can kill a game. They say most of black wealth is created. Well, not black wealth, but wealth period is created in real estate.
Who said that?
It's a fact.
People,
I just like to mess
Forbes.
with
Look,
you.
I just gotta go. Look,
No,
don't even know Forbes.
He is no. Anyone who listens to this podcast knows that Stretton is the king of assuming facts.
I don't
of
assume
non-facts.
any facts.
You are the king of
I
non-facts.
just believe
He'll
what
be
I
like,
believe.
He'll be like 80%. I'm like, where'd you get that from? Who's 80%? What study did you
I
conduct?
took a poll.
Where's
You
this
know how
thing?
CNN does their polls? I do my poll.
You did.
You know what I'm saying? Have you
Show
ever
me the
been
receipt.
Have you ever been polled before?
Show me the receipt.
I'll
Black
show
people
you.
don't ever get polled.
I got
I don't
it.
know who they be polling.
I don't know who
I
the
don't know
hell they be
anybody
polling.
who's ever been polled.
I don't know who they be polling.
No.
Are you registered to vote, man? Are we pushing the vote? What?
I'll be honest. I'm not gonna fake. I
Okay.
vote, but I vote when it comes to the big event, the main.
The election.
There you go.
But the midterms, they say it's as important.
It
as,
is, and lately that's been on my mind. I've been talking to a lot of people. I've been hearing great things about certain politicians. Been jealous. I've heard great things about them. But that I definitely need to. I will tell the truth. I don't have a lot of faith in politics.
Okay.
And I know that's not the right answer, but that's just my truth.
Well, we here for the truth.
We're here for the truth. Listen, I don't think any of us have a lot of faith in politics. But I also see it as, listen, what's a vote? Like, you must, it's like,
Your vote.
hey, even a lot of people do feel like, your vote doesn't count or it doesn't make a difference. They're going to do what the hell they want to do anyway. But I feel like, why not? It's kind of like taking a survey. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
And people died for you. People died for you.
People did die to vote,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying
people
it's
just lost
not.
their lives and went through
It's
hell
not.
for you to be able
It's
to
not a
vote,
good.
so.
But I'm just saying, in this day and age, when it comes down to voting, it's just like, listen, it's like taking a survey to me. It's like, okay, like you need me to vote. Let me just give you my opinion, and you do what you will.
Okay. Intro. Have you ever hit a woman or been almost
Excuse me?
tempted to hit a woman? Just asking. Have you ever hit a woman before?
No,
Or have you
I
ever
haven't.
felt like you were about to?
I think every person feels like they get angry,
Angry.
but not
don't
to the
do
point.
it.
No, not to hit a woman. Never.
You?
I've had a lot of women hit me.
I've had someone hit me too.
And that's a double standard, which is wrong.
I know I've been abused. You know what I'm
been
saying?
abused?
Abused
But
and taken advantage of.
I think you want to
time.
be taken advantage of. I think you like that type of stuff.
Look.
I think you like that type of stuff. I think you do.
Yes.
Yes. You be like, take advantage of me.
Go
Beat
ahead
me.
with the question.
Beat me.
Toast.
No, that's what it was. Just bringing up. I know we all know Chris Sells, and I know we all know Queen Naija, her ex-husband, huge YouTube stars. So he's probably been arrested for domestic violence for hitting the young lady he started dating after he cheated on his wife with. Parker McKenna. So if we know My Wife and Kids, there's a little girl. I forgot her name on it though. The little daughter. The
Oh
third
yeah, I
daughter.
remember. Yeah.
She grown now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
was putting his hands on her, and I'm just thinking like, I was having a conversation with a friend, and he was like, no, some girls really, they try you. They really, like, they can make a guy do that. And I'm thinking, no, everyone is in control of their own actions. No one can make you do anything that you don't want to do. And he was telling me, nah, like, no. He didn't agree with me. So we were going back and forth. So I'm just trying to see, have you guys ever felt like really you were about to cross the line?
I'll be honest, there's a lot of women that will try to push you to that point, but my philosophy is this, and I was talking to a buddy about this, because he's put in a situation sometimes where his woman will jump up on him, hit him, get up in his face, and I told him, dude, you can't allow yourself to stay in a situation where you could possibly react, because reacting, I'm against that. I've never seen my father put his hands on my mother, you know, and that's not something that I would accept with my own daughter. So I don't promote that. I don't think it's okay for a man to hit a woman, but at the same time, a woman shouldn't hit a man.
I
you know,
agree with
we're
that.
all humans,
Yeah.
and we react, you know.
And I think society makes it seem like that's okay because, you know, I'm gonna put it like this: it takes restraint. It takes a lot of restraint, even for a man. Like, it's a level to it. You know, a little push here and there, of course. You know, but like if your girl slaps the shit out of you, like, you know, and you feel so disrespected, you have to have a lot of restraint for that. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to be mature. You have to have, you know, and for me, I never saw that in my household. So therefore, you know, I don't have the experience of seeing that like some other, you know, male has. You know what I'm saying? Some people grow up with violence in the household and they just replicate that. But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's kind of like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you either need to keep your hands to yourself or you're going to be by yourself. Like,
Right.
you know, I'll be on to the next,
Right.
you know? But, you know, every person is different because it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, when you hit somebody in that moment, you're enraged. You feel disrespected. So, you know, it's no excuse for it, but I'm just saying that you have to have a certain level of resilience in trying times like that. Like, especially
agree.
just with women, you just have to have that type of like,
Absolutely, but I agree.
you
People
know,
shouldn't be
let
provoked.
me leave before, you know.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be provoked. I don't think a woman should be putting her hands on a man. And I'm the type of woman, if I hit anybody, I do have the expectation of,
To
okay,
get your ass hit back, right?
Get
Right?
hit back. I feel like that's anyone though.
Like,
I feel
whoa,
like
nigga, I didn't know.
anybody, if you're
Right.
putting your hand on someone or if you're taking it there, expect to
Right.
get hit back. Like, don't just, I don't know what you think this is. Like, where they
But
do
at
that
the same time, though, you can't fabulous a girl, or you can't Chris Brown somebody. You know, as a man,
Right.
like I can't.
Now that Chris
can't-
Brown situation was crazy.
Yeah, I can't beat a woman
Poor
like
Rihanna,
that, man.
come here, Rihanna. You know, Rihanna, if you listen.
I wouldn't have done that to you, boo.
I don't know. Some of these women be really strong. Like, it be like equivalent strength. You know what I mean? 'Cause I know sometimes
I've seen women
when
beat
people
men
think
up,
of domestic
like-
violence, they think of it like you're in your mind. You picture like a big guy, a small
Right.
woman. Like, these couples be like even like toe to toe. She's just as strong as he is, and they be going like they boxing. Like,
So
for
if
real.
Layla Ali hit me in the jaw, I could fight her back.
I'm not saying you can. That's a choice you have to make within yourself.
You really
But
get
I-
dusted. You really get dusted. She gonna be like Diddy. Oh, you wanna play?
just
Oh,
feel
you
like
wanna play?
Couples should not ever go there. I think like that's very, very important to just.
It's
not
already
even
a
engage
recipe
in that.
for disaster.
Yeah, it is.
It's already
It
a
is.
recipe for
It
disaster.
is. Just don't go there. Don't
Yeah.
don't talk to each other negatively. Don't put each other down. Just like even the words you speak, because words are so powerful. So if you're calling a man a B, a you be a guy, like,
But you know what?
how you can't do that.
It's a little bit more complex than that because sometimes, like, even when I deal with like family members that
Yeah.
go through, you know, domestic violence situations, a lot of times, you know, it's either, you know, they have a guy that's trying to take care of them or giving them money or, you know, providing some type of comfort along with the domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? That keeps that woman at least coming back, or at least they got kids by the nigga, or you know what I'm saying? Something that is just like, you
But
know,
you always have a choice, and you know I'm a big believer.
That
in
is
free will
true,
at the
but
end of the day. So I
persuasion,
mean, so you're
persuasion.
not even persuasion. So you're making the choice because I'm getting X, Y, and Z. I'm going to continue to deal with X, Y, and Z. Your choice.
It's not that. It's like,
It is.
okay, let's say you have a couple kids by a guy. He starts me. If you're a stay-at-home mom or whatever, it is a choice at the end of the day. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying it makes it harder to choose because it's like, where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna get money, how I'm gonna get this.
And that's why you have your exit strategy. You start planning. I'm not saying leave overnight. You have to come up with a plan. A shout out to
You gotta go
over the plan. Shout out to Cheryl. Not that she was going to domestic violence, but she said she knew that she was married to him, and she was like, you know what, this is not for me. So she told him in April that, you know what, I'm gonna leave you, and he was like, yeah, whatever. He didn't take her seriously. So you know, she kept living with him, saving her money. Thanksgiving came around, they had Thanksgiving together, the kids had Christmas together, they had toys under the tree, and then by the next year, she moved out in like February, and she said he couldn't believe that she left him. When she told him, I'm going to leave you, she just had to get herself ready.
Together.
Yeah, so you know, if you know, you gotta have a plan, you gotta have a strategy. I'm not saying, you know, just go be homeless with your kids. No, like, you know, get your action plan together, do what you gotta do, and then make it happen for yourself.
Have you ever saw like domestic violence in your household growing up, or
unless it was
like
me
that?
and my brothers fighting each other? Nah.
Yeah.
So my dad did put his hands on my mom, and you know, I mean, he didn't really. He raised his voice, but he didn't curse at her. You know, I'll be a lie if I say I ain't had to cuss a couple girls out. But you know, like I said, I don't agree with that. And the older I get, the more I realize I don't want that in no relationship.
Right. Yeah.
You know, this is supposed to be the person you protect. How you fighting with the one you're supposed to protect?
Facts.
I agree with that.
Facts.
I agree with that. Or the one you loving.
Yeah.
You should be hugging. You know, sexing and loving. You know, all of
the
that.
Ass
you know,
The ass.
yeah. And I get it. Like sometimes, you know, every couple has their spats.
Yeah.
Every couple has they, you know, your little back and forths and stuff like that. But like I said, it should never get to that point. You know, I've dealt with relationships where, you know, it's gotten to that point and you just like, hold up, you know, like let's calm this shit down. Let's bring it back to zero because it don't have to go that deep. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to go that far. You know, it don't got to get Fab and Emily up in here. You know what I'm saying? It don't got to get like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, that's how I feel about the situation. But you know, I just wish everybody keep their hands to their motherfucking self.
What they teach you in elementary school, keep your hands, feet, and other.
And they also teach you if somebody hit you, hit their asses back, don't they?
They don't teach you that in elementary. That's what your parents
tell you.
That's what your parents tell you.
Yeah, because my father shown up. Shown up.
Somebody hit your ass, you hit
them
their ass back. And don't come back here because I'm going to make you fight them.
No, but I think that is so wrong for parents to watch their kids fight. As a mother, and I have a daughter, my daughter's in high school. I'm not finna watch, I'm not finna watch my daughter win a fight. I'm not finna watch my daughter fight a fight. I don't even want to see anyone hitting her or being like that with her. I can't watch. I would never. I can't. I used to think I would.
And I'm asking,
but as a mother, no, I can't.
I mean, so how should you deal with a bully situation today with social media, things like that going on? Your kid is getting bullied. I mean, what do you do? Because you got old school versus new school, Darius.
Well, I don't have children yet, so I can't quite speak from experience. But I'm old school, man. If somebody put their hands on you, hit them back. That's what I would tell my kid as of today. At least what I believe, you know, if I had one. But yeah, that's how my parents was. You know, I remember one time my brother got into a fight, and you know, me and my other little bro, we were kids, so we watched. And my dad said, "Y'all watch? Nah, y'all all go back out there and get him." Now I don't support that, you know. And of course we didn't jump the boy, but at the same time, you know.
So you don't believe that? Man, I wish I had some brothers. Let me tell you. I got cousins. But you know what I'm saying? But so you don't believe that if your brother is fighting one person,
I'm jumping in it.
Okay, I
if
was
my
about to
friend's
say,
fighting, I'm
like,
jumping in it. But I don't know if I would tell my 3 sons to go jump one boy.
Right.
I don't know if I could do that. But yeah.
It's different levels to it. It's different levels to it.
Yeah.
It depends on what's going on.
They bullying everybody. Listen, you got to face all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Like,
simple as that.
As simple as that.
My thing is, I can't watch. I can't watch. Like, if you fight, fight, come back, tell me what happened, handle your business, take it. But
tell me what happened.
To watch my child fight, nah, I'm breaking that. It's not in front. I can't.
Would it be any different if it was a son instead of a daughter?
I'm not gonna watch my son fight. It may be a little harder for me to break up that fight, but I'm not gonna watch my son fight.
Girls be the main ones out. It be the moms that be the main ones out there.
They be the problem. You gotta, as an adult, honestly, like, you have to come out there with a solution. You cannot be the problem. You need to try to solve it. What's going on? Pull them aside. Like, These
But you know, in this
parents
world,
are young-minded. Some of these
people ain't
parents are
thinking about
young-minded,
that, though.
but
And
they
so-
need to be, because a fight, you can honestly. A fight is all cool, but you can kill somebody. You can hit somebody
That
wrong,
is
and then
true.
somebody
That
else's
is
child
true.
can die. But then it's like,
Hit
oh, I
that
didn't
concrete.
mean to.
Hit them
We
with
was
the
just-
shovel.
Exactly.
Hit them with the shovel
we
like
was
the
just
girl.
fighting. And when you get upset, some people black out. You may do something you didn't think you were capable of. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, a lot of things can happen. It's just honestly,
It's
when you look at
dangerous,
the
this
grand
is.
scheme of things, it's not worth it.
Or you could be on
I'm not finna
camera.
watch nobody put
Or you
their
could-
hands on mine.
You will
Like,
be
I'm
on
not.
camera these days.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
you
yeah.
might wind up on Warsaw.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Warsaw.
Speaking of being on camera, there was these two ladies. What organization did they work for? Some organization or whatever, right? I don't know. And they were housed in this property, so their home where they're living is being paid for. And they were fighting. Two women were fighting a child on the school bus, and then end up fighting the bus driver. So because it was in the neighborhood where their job was working, it was like tagged to an Instagram video, and their employer saw the two ladies who, mind you, they're living in this residence is being paid for by the employer. I forgot what job that they do. Are witnessing these employees fighting the bus driver and a child on the school bus. So they were eventually terminated. So, you know, your actions can go far beyond, you know, the school playground. You can
That's
be
true.
reported. You can lose your job. You can face public opinion or your neighbors. You know, a lot of things can happen. It's just not worth it. You can go to jail, too.
You could
It's not
these
worth it.
days.
You got to be
These
real
days.
careful what you do these days, because eyes or somebody's always watching. And it's not worth it.
But sometimes anybody could get it. Like, I mean, like sometimes. No, I'm saying, like sometimes it's one of those days. Like there was a video today. I don't know if y'all seen the video
Okay,
today.
what
The little Trump supporter that was talking shit to the motherfucking lady,
Mhm.
and
What happened?
ain't nothing happened. But he
Oh.
was just talking shit. Like, go back to your country. Like sometimes, you know, if it's just one of those days, you could motherfucking get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just,
Like period, point
I don't
blank.
know. I just,
Some people had their
When you-
days.
I feel like after a certain age, you really can't be out there fighting unless it's like life. So it has to be some real serious stuff for you to be out there fighting. Just because things
agree.
can go so wrong.
What was, your,
when I-
what
when
was your last fight?
When I'm angry, it's not good.
What was
like,
your
I
last
think anybody
fight?
is capable of anything.
What was your last fight?
Boy, I was young. I can't even tell you. Now
What
I've
was your
cussed a
last
few
fight?
people out.
My last
But,
fight was 12th grade.
See,
Okay.
don't nobody got time. And first of all, fighting is exhausting. That's tiresome. Like, it's a workout. Ain't nobody
I
trying
done
to
But
do
fought-
see,
that.
I done
we
fought
men,
drunk.
though.
I done fought drunk a couple. No, I done fought my cousin drunk.
So you got your ass beat a couple
No,
times.
no
how you
ass
gonna be
beat.
fighting impaired?
It's
You
good.
gotta be ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, listen, we both was drunk.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So y'all
Yeah.
wasn't really fight. That's not a
I mean,
real
I
fight.
mean,
That's not a
you
real
know,
fight.
it's not a real
If
fight.
you
It
don't
felt
bleed,
real at that
it's
time.
not a real
though.
fight.
Yeah.
Somebody not bleeding or somebody don't got a ball spot. I mean, I'm talking about a fight. I'm talking about a real fight. Like,
So Darius, so family. Let's get on family real quick. Let's get on family. You say you don't have any kids. I mean, do you see some in the future? What's going on?
You asking those deep questions. I don't want to be 90 years old and not have nobody to take care of me. So of course, I think I might want.
That's how I feel.
I'm about to say he getting up all these
I
properties.
feel like you got to have children
you
to
gotta
take care
have
of you.
somebody to leave it to,
Not
Yeah.
to take care of you when
and
you
to
get
leave the stuff to. It's gonna go back to your state or whoever.
I'm one of 10 kids though, so hell,
Oh,
You
wow.
want
I don't
10? You want
No.
10?
I'm one.
He's one
I'm
of-
one of.
Oh, 1 of 10.
Where do
Right.
you fall in line?
I am number 1, 2, 3,
Dang, you got
4.
You know it's
Four.
serious when you got
It's
to pull
okay.
the fingers out.
It's
My
too
man was
many.
like 1, 2, 3.
3, 4, 7.
What was
Subtract
the
the 2.
craziest thing about growing up with? First of all, did you all grow up in the same household?
We did.
Wow.
Tell me a story. What was the craziest thing about growing up with 10 siblings?
It's too many stories, but what I will say is this. It's amazing, you know, because you kind of feel like you don't really need friends because you have your own little packs in the house. You know, for me, it was me, my twin, and Demetrius. You know, you guys have met
Yeah.
him. We were closest in age, and then my 2 older sisters, you know, Candace, and then
Yep.
I have a
Yeah.
sister older than her. And then the other little ones stuck together. So it was very fun. I'm sure for my parents it was very stressful because, you know, we kind of cut up a little bit.
10 kids.
10 kids. Like I
know
thought my
that's
5.
right.
I thought my 5 was doing something. He's double. They double. Oh my
10
gosh.
kids.
How many restrooms did you guys have growing up? Bathrooms.
Well, you know, remember we ain't come from very much. Okay, so you know we were 10 deep in a townhouse for maybe the first 10, 12 years, but we finally got our little house in Upper Marlboro. We had two full baths and one half.
Okay.
I mean, so out of the
they needed that.
Out of the 10, I mean, who are you like closest with?
I think
like,
he just said his twin.
And
Well,
I mean,
no, I won't say that. I won't
doesn't
say
mean
that.
you that close with the.
So I didn't even know you were a twin.
Yeah, my twin lives in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was a twin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he
fraternal.
He said it the
Fraternal.
first time, so I thought I was tripping.
Yeah,
But then
but
I'm
you
like,
know,
no, he
sometimes
said
you
it
be like
again.
my twin.
He's like, oh, you know,
my twin.
yeah, like,
you
we
know,
not the
we it's like we
twin.
a couple days apart.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Nah, it's a
But
real
no, he-
twin.
Yeah, okay,
twin,
all right,
okay.
But
Identical or yeah.
He just said
Oh,
fraternal.
okay.
Yeah, we're
All right,
fraternal.
all right.
But I don't know if I really have a favorite or one that I'm closest to. I love my big sisters. I love them.
Aww.
You know, one of them cut my hair, so I see her every week, and I tell
Yeah.
her my problems. She tell me her problems. My oldest sister is like the mom of the group,
Aw.
and so you know I'm really close to her. And me and my brothers, you know, we talk money, we talk dreams. You know, I'm a dreamer. You know, I'm ambitious, and so we always talk about our ideas and things we have in the works. So yeah.
That's dope.
Man, I would love to be a part
Yo,
of a family.
I
of
can
10.
tell
Let me
you,
tell
growing
I
up-
would have nieces and nephews.
There you go.
And barbecues and all types of stuff. What I'm saying.
Growing
and then
up, it
ain't
was so
nobody
hard.
messing with us.
Growing up, it was so hard to appreciate having like 5 siblings. I just felt like, oh my God, too many girls. One
Right.
restroom is horrible. But as an adult, being able to have that, and I understand what you mean by having that sister you talk to, having that sister you share ideas with, it's a beautiful thing. A full family is a beautiful thing.
So you never felt like you wasn't getting any attention, or it was like
Nobody was.
You know what I'm
10
saying?
of them. It's like, no.
Well, not. I
I'm
mean,
joking.
y'all.
I'm
No,
joking.
I
but
mean,
you're
just
right
see-
though. You're right. Exactly what
Oh,
you
really?
said. You
Okay.
know, I mean, it wasn't the most lovey-dovey household. And when I put myself in my parents' shoes, and I think, you know, my dad, who was just a mechanic, my mom was working for a printing company but got laid off because the computer took over her job. It was tough on them. You know what I'm saying? It was really, really tough. And I can only imagine their stress, let alone having these badass kids. You know? So, you know, it wasn't a super lovey-dovey
Land.
household.
You know what I'm saying? All
You
right,
gotta
all
know
right.
the song. Yeah.
But
About
yeah.
to leave out the badass kids in that. Okay. Yeah.
10 of them too. Whew.
Yeah. But you know, it was cool. We just kind of, you know, we fed off of each other. You didn't
Right.
get a whole lot from your parents other than a roof over your head and some shoes you ain't want on your feet.
Right.
That's
right.
all you got. But you know,
Basically.
my father was they were great, man.
That's
Hard
dope.
workers. Did what he
That's
had
dope.
to do,
That's
and I
dope.
respect that. I love him to death. Greatest man.
So
I know.
are y'all really close? Like
Yes.
all of y'all are just okay.
You know, that's the beauty about my family. You know, a lot of families have drama. Even our family, not within our little household, but cousins and aunts and uncles. But us 12, we are a very closely knit group. We love
That's
each other,
dope.
man.
So
Ain't
who
no
puts
beef.
who in check though?
We
Like
just
who's
respect,
the
we
person
respect each other.
that puts that's like yo
Every
you
family
wildin'.
got that
Yeah,
one black
person
sheep that
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 bit-
says what.
yeah.
I think that may be me.
Oh damn, we talking to the goddamn black
Goddamn.
sheep. Who the booked this nigga for the
Hold on a
damn
minute.
show?
No, I think I'm the one that they go to for the ration. You know, I'm the
Okay.
rational
Okay.
one.
All right.
So yeah.
So
they
you
listen
said
to me.
everybody calm.
They listen to me.
They
Okay.
listen.
They
to
listen
Okay.
to me.
Okay.
Okay.
They like if Darius said, then it's
There you
it's
go.
Cool.
They
It's
respect
cool.
Darius.
So who you had to curse out lately though?
It's not necessarily cursing out, but I will
Or
tell
who
you
you
the
had to
one
set straight?
that
Who you had to put calm?
I think me and my twin, man.
Okay.
Me and my twin, we're two totally different people, and we always go at it.
The yin and the yang. And the
There
yin
you
and the
go.
yang.
And
Okay.
it'd be frustrating, but
And I
yeah,
split
I be
that-
having
Yeah,
And
that.
I
right.
split that down the middle. Like,
Yeah, but he's a great guy, man.
Okay.
Great dude, good person, very skilled dude,
Okay.
very unique. Love him to death.
Oh.
Just don't got a lot of common sense.
Okay. All right. I knew it was a butt coming somewhere. There was like butt. You know what I'm saying?
His ass crazy.
His ass
Crazy.
His ass. I would love to be from Big Family.
But you're not. Sorry.
Yeah,
but you
I'm
can
not.
create a big family if you go
There
ahead
you
and
go.
get married and
Yeah.
start having a lot of kids. Start
Hey,
now.
you
And
know.
you can pop out a kid every
Listen,
2 years,
listen.
and then you can have your 10.
Hey,
Boom.
10
Just
is
like
a
that.
lot. 10 is a lot.
Boom.
They
I
say
could
you
like
can
that.
only claim what to what? 3 on your tax. 3 you can only
I
claim
don't
up to
know about
3
that. That's true.
on your
That's true.
taxes. You can't claim all
These
10.
are your false facts that you be
You
saying.
gotta
claim
love
them all.
kids.
You
gotta
gotta be
love
able to
kids.
claim
You
all.
gotta-
Cause
Yeah, that's
tax season was
crazy.
my dad's favorite time of the year.
Oh, it was.
Right.
He was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What?
You want them Nike boots? We better get you them
He was
Nike
like,
boots.
I'm a
today.
child.
wasn't
I'm
no
a
Nike
child.
boots.
I'm a child.
You was not
Kid
getting
Dad's
those Nike
social.
boots.
Kid Dad's social. I'm a child.
Did
One
you
more.
just attend a wedding? No, you was just
I
at a-
did. Let me tell you, I've attended. This has just been a wedding year for me. Shout out to all my folks that got married. Shout out to Ashley and Devon. Shout out to Sally and Henry. Their wedding was amazing. Like, I literally felt like I was at a celebrity wedding. I mean, from the crystals, the setup, the food, the open bar, the open bar, the
Oh,
open
Lord,
bar.
the
You know,
open
my favorite
bar.
part. I mean, it was just so beautiful. Like, oh my, you saw my snap. Everybody was like, oh my God, where are you? Like, that's how amazing the wedding was. It was amazing. You was mad because somebody hit me up and said, damn, I should have came because I didn't have a +1. I had a +1. My +1 canceled on me. So somebody intro pictures like, damn, I should have came.
Yeah, I should have came.
You
So the
shoulda.
I love
question
food.
is, are you paying that $50,000 for that same type of wedding? That's
Me?
the real question.
Oh,
I don't
women
think-
don't never pay for no damn
no, I
weddings.
just-
That's why they love having them.
No.
That's why they love
Shout out
having
to all the
they
women
never-
that want to get married, but you know, I don't know. I can't even think that far ahead. I think that's too far for me to even think. I may. I can tell you I have a savings account for my wedding. If I don't get married, I'm
Oh
just
my
gonna take a
Lord.
bomb ass trip somewhere.
You got a savings account for
I have
the
a
wedding?
savings account. Got my little save first, my little coin in there. Because if I do get married, I want it to be nice.
You want to know something interesting? I don't think there's any men that are thinking about their wedding night who's not at least engaged right now.
See, I'm a whole 6 years
Listen.
single, but the money is gonna go to me. Like, I think I may just take a bomb ass vacation. I may go to Italy or something and really be able to enjoy myself. You know how people take vacations but struggle to have a good time because they don't have no money? Nah,
That's every black
I'm
person.
gonna be
Listen,
exactly.
we make it do what it
I
do.
don't want to be that token
We
black
make it do what it do.
that just got to
Listen.
Italy and can't do shit. Like, just there. Like,
Have,
no.
have you ever been engaged?
No.
No. You plan on getting married anytime soon, or would you like to be married?
I would love to be married.
Okay.
You know, I just hit 30, man. Life is a little bit different.
Listen, don't it come quick when they hit you at 30?
Yeah.
At 30, you be like, God damn, I got to get my life together. I got to get married,
Exactly.
get a good job.
But
You
no,
know?
I
Oh,
definitely
except for you.
Except for,
Because he
listen,
should have been married
Supon.
about 2 years ago.
Listen.
Yeah. You got a good thing, brother.
Listen, you ain't got to tell me. I know.
Clearly,
you
I
want me
do.
to get married. See, let me tell you what about oxytocin. Oxytocin is trying to live through other people. You know what I'm saying? So she's just trying to say, listen,
Oxytocin.
you should get married so I could come to your wedding and see all the things and this and that. And
What are
no,
you talking
you know,
about? Let me tell you,
listen,
you are not going to reach your fullest potential until you
listen.
get married.
look, that's
You're
what
well
they
on
say.
your way.
That's what
You're
they
well
say.
on your way, but once you have your wife, I'm telling you, guys, the limit for you.
Okay,
You
well,
just
we'll
don't
see. We'll see
understand.
when that
I'm
happens.
trying to
Listen,
tell you.
we still reaching for the sky,
Hopefully,
and we
it's going to happen soon.
hopefully we're gonna see. We're
Yeah,
gonna see. We
cause,
look.
you
We
know,
gotta look at the finance.
she don't got all
Darius
day.
said I gotta get my credit together. Let me own a couple properties first, and then dang.
No, but are you single? Are you dating?
I dip and dabble.
Dib and dabble. Okay,
That one
'cause
down.
we-
That's new,
'cause
right?
we may I know.
We
I
ain't
don't
never
know what
heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna say
never went down one little bit, little plenty of fish, little, you know what I'm saying?
little black people meet.
little bit,
Little
bit of this,
Facebook
little bit of
DM.
that.
little Facebook.
He be on
Doing
IG.
that. I'm all social networks, y'all. All social networks. All right, before we get up out of here, we got to know this is our time for a little secret.
Tell us something about you that nobody knows. Something good.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I'm a private person. Need something that nobody know. But
Ain't nobody listening.
I have.
Nobody listening.
I plan on opening up a clothing line very soon.
Hey,
Dope.
okay. You got a
Okay.
name?
I want to call it. I don't
Okay,
even, I
maybe
don't
you
want to put
shouldn't
that
tell
out
it.
there.
All right,
Trademark
all
that bad boy.
I'm keep that on the low
yeah,
low,
keep that
you
on.
know.
All right, we ain't gonna go that far.
Come
But
back
yeah,
when you
We
when
gotta
you
get
launch.
close. But what
Yeah.
kind of clothing?
Something different, man.
Okay.
I'm always about different. I don't want to do anything the way that anyone else
Okay.
is doing it.
Are you talking about shirts, jackets, coats?
It's definitely gonna be like what I like to wear, which is just dressed down. I think that that's in. You know, if you think about it, 5 years ago we couldn't get into the club with some sneakers and a t-shirt on and a hat.
That's true.
But now you can,
You
because
can.
that's what's in. You know, that's what the athletes are wearing. That's what everybody's wearing.
That's
Pastors
true.
up there wearing it. So I'm definitely going to keep it with our kind of dress down type style, but I definitely want it to be different though. I want you to look at it. You know how you can look at Versace and tell it's Versace, or you can look at
Shit.
Coogee and tell it's Coogee.
Hell yeah.
Well, when you look at
If
mine,
it don't say
you gonna
Gucci,
know it's
I
mine.
can't tell it's Gucci.
Nah, you know them cool.
But I get what you're saying. You want to have that
But
unique,
unique,
the,
yeah.
the,
You want it to
the
be
difference
Be
of it.
distinctive.
Well, I'm be looking forward to it. Make
Me
sure you
too.
invite us to the, you know, the
Absolutely.
release.
The launch.
Listen, the launch.
And
We
that way
could be
you can
on the
tell us-
show. We
you
could be
already
in the
know.
show. We
You
could
can
be
tell
in the
us the
show.
name.
We
We
could be in
tell
the
us the
fashion
name.
show because you know Clothing Line's fashion show. We could be in the fashion
Oh, we can
show.
do a little runway.
Yeah,
little
we gonna
runway.
employ ourselves out here.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you know, you
Drop
got it.
that plug.
Hey, look,
I
most
never-
definitely, I would love to be back.
Now that we know, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Now that we know.
And
Well,
before
man,
we get out of here, I just want to drop a plug. I am hosting a toy drive on December 8th at Red Rocks on 8th Street in DC with my
Hey.
great friend Miss Mel. We definitely want to give back to the community, and we do love children. So come out, bring a toy, and have a good time because it's
Yeah.
going to be
Awesome.
crazy fun.
and make sure you come to our next Drinks and Conversations,
Yes.
man.
I will.
Listen,
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
there be a
on
lot
the
of
pop.
women there. We can hook you up with
Ooh.
some nice women, beautiful
They are.
women.
We hooking people up and shit.
we
these
love
days.
to do that.
Yeah, yeah. It's the battle of the sexes. So,
So
that's a,
even though guys are gonna lose, it's okay. You know, whatever.
we're not
but
gonna lose.
Hey,
Y'all
they
gonna
got,
lose.
They got me. We
Yeah,
winning.
yeah. We in there. We in there.
We winning.
They ain't buying no real estate up in there, so
I know.
I mean,
Hey, look,
So-
we versatile.
Hey, don't discount it. Listen, we're
versatile.
gonna probably help some of y'all buy a couple of real estate. You know, because we know y'all living at
because
home.
clearly you. Because don't you sell real estate already? Ain't you a real estate agent?
I'm soon come.
Soon come?
Soon
Soon
come.
come, okay.
Soon come. Soon
But get
come.
your
Just
shit
wait on
together.
it. Just wait
Get
on
your
it.
shit together,
Yeah,
okay?
I'm getting my shit together. Get my score up. Yeah, yeah. But Darius, man, thanks for coming
300.
through, man. I know. I hit
Yes.
him up. I said, "Yo, come through to the podcast." Listen.
Shout out to Darius for coming
Yeah,
out.
she was gonna call you that the whole damn episode. Listen, put some respect on his name, man.
I said Darius.
Just
Alright.
add the bless
Yeah.
to
The
it.
bless,
Add
bless. He's blessed,
The bless.
Bless,
Yeah,
bless.
yeah.
Bless.
Bless.
Shout out to Jesus.
But thanks for coming through, man. You welcome anytime, man, to
Anytime.
come back through,
Yes.
kick it with us. And I mean, I learned some shit.
I learned some stuff
Listen,
too. I
After
did
30 years, you're
too.
trying to pass on that wealth. You better buy you a piece of property and go ahead and get it done.
Yes.
There you go.
So let me take some equity out your house, Greg.
Not
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You
this way.
you appreciating and everything.
Yeah, you
I
might-
know it's
you might
appreciating
appreciate
this
it
shit. You appreciating this shit. Let me get a little bit of that equity.
But no, hey, it was fun, man. I'll definitely be happy to come back.
Absolutely.
And yeah, great things coming in the future. So
Whoop,
you know,
Hey.
definitely love to share that with you guys.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey. Well, we out, y'all. It's Drinks and Conversation.
The podcast.
Yeah.
You have a million sweat bubbles on your head. I wish I had $1 for every sweat bubble.
You would be having $2.